Setting the stage this week is widespread debate arising from the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, which requires a minimum of 65 games played for eligibility to win the league's major awards. Reigning Kia MVP Joel Embiid teeters dangerously close to the edge of disqualification, having missed 3 of Philadelphia's last 4 games with a sore left knee, before suffering a left lateral meniscus injury Tuesday at Golden State.
Per the NBA's new player participation policy, all the major awards, including MVP and All-NBA, require a player to miss no more than 17 games. Embiid is expected to miss his 14th contest Saturday against Brooklyn. That means he'd be 4 games away from disqualification to repeat as MVP.
This latest Kia race to the MVP ladder accounts for the big man's tenuous status. One stat to know. 53.3. That's Embiid's field goal percentage, which has the 7-time All-Star on track to finish as the 3rd player. Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan are the others in NBA history to average 35 points or more on 50% or better from the field for a season.
What they're saying? Freak play with him and Jonathan Kuminga diving for the ball. Maybe it's not as bad if the knee isn't already banged up. Now, we've got one of our premier faces in this league, the MVP of our league, possibly hurt for an extended period because he's forcing it to adhere to the league's mandatory 65 games.
Warriors forward Draymond Green speaking on The Draymond Green Show about Embiid's injury. It's not just Embiid. Several players in contention for major awards find themselves in the same situation as the Sixers center due to missed games.
Dallas Mavericks guard Kyrie Irving is already ineligible with 21 missed contests, while Miami Heat stars Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo have sat out 15 and 10 games, respectively. Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Haliburton is up for a spot on the All-NBA team and had missed just 3 games over the first 3 months of the season before suffering a strained left hamstring that sidelined him 10 more outings.
Keep track of how our MVP rankings continue to evolve throughout the season. 1. Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets last week's ranking. Number 2 season stats. 26.3 ppg, 12.
1 RPG, 9.0 APG his case. Jokic followed up a 26-point, 16-rebound showing in a Saturday win over Philadelphia with a 25-point triple-double Monday to spoil Doc Rivers' Bucks debut. The game marked Jokic's league-best 14th triple-double of the season. Lower back pain forced the 2-time MVP to miss his 2nd game of the season Wednesday in what turned out to be a hotly contested loss to Oklahoma City.
The 28-year-old is questionable for Friday's game versus Portland, 9 ET, NBA League Pass. 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City Thunder last week's ranking. Number 3 season stats, 31.
3 ppg, 5.6 rpg, 6.4 apg his case. Gilgeous-Alexander shook off back-to-back losses to Detroit and Minnesota by extending his career-long streak of 30-point games to 8 Wednesday in a win over the Jokic-less Nuggets. Oklahoma City won the season series versus Denver 3-1, marking the first time it has done that since the 2016-17 season.
Gilgeous-Alexander scored 13 of his 34 points in that game in the 4th quarter. OKC's homestand continues Friday against Charlotte, 8 ET, NBA League Pass. 3. Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers last week's ranking. Number
1 season stats, 35.3 ppg, 11.3 rpg, 5.7 APG his case. A strange late scratch created the perception that Embiid was ducking a matchup in Denver against Jokic. But the reality, it appears, is he was dealing with a serious injury suffered 2 days prior in Indiana.
The Sixers are 4-9 this season without Embiid and are working to put together a treatment plan for him. An extended timetable for return could push Embiid off this list altogether given the league's participation requirements.
4. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Milwaukee Bucks last week's ranking. Number 4 season stats, 30. 9 ppg, 11.6 rpg, 6.1 apg his case. Antetokounmpo continues to stuff the stat sheet.
But the two-time MVP's 7-game streak of double-doubles ended Wednesday in Portland in a game where he missed 2 free throws with fewer than 3 seconds remaining and his team down 3 points. Milwaukee remains winless under Rivers, and the current road trip only gets tougher with games on deck at Dallas, Utah and Phoenix.
5. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics last week's ranking. Number 5 season stats, 26.8 ppg, 8. 4 rpg, 4.4 apg his case. In the middle of a 7-game homestand, Boston squandered an opportunity to run its winning streak to 3 in a row Thursday against a Lakers squad without LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Tatum scored a game-high 23 points in the loss for a team that started 20-0 at home but has since lost 3 of the last 5 at TD Garden. Tatum produced his 9th the 5th of May 30 game in Tuesday's win over Indiana. The next 5, 6.
Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks, last week. Number 6, 7. Domantas Sabonis, Sacramento Kings, last week. No. 7, 8. Kawhi Leonard, LA Clippers, last week. Number 9, 9. Kevin Durant, Phoenix Suns, last week. No.
8, 10. Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns, last week. Number 10. And 5 more, listed alphabetically. Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks. Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves. Tyrese Halliburton, Indiana Pacers. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers. Karl Anthony Towns, Minnesota Timberwolves. Michael C. Wright is a senior writer for NBA.com. You can email him here, find his archive here and follow him on X.
The views on this page do not necessarily reflect the views of the NBA, its clubs or Warner Bros. Discovery.